Okay, I'm going to run us through a quick walkthrough of the NITRO Help Desk. We'll talk about end user interface, how tickets are submitted, how tickets are routed, how tickets are viewed, closed, a little high level manager dashboard, a quick touch into problem management. So, from an end user's perspective, we have the ability to send emails to create tickets, just like you would in any help desk. You know, a support at or a help at, whatever your support address is, and it creates a ticket in the tickets list. The main end user interface is through Teams. What we've done is we've created a Teams app that's pinnable in the left-hand nav of Teams, where your end users can navigate, they can submit tickets, they can view their tickets, where rich text description, screenshots, attached files. Once the ticket is submitted, they can also view their tickets from here. Right? Where are they? Have any notes been left for them? A way for them to communicate with the back end department. One of the add-on options that we have as a part of our help desk is our Copilot. What our Copilot does is it scrapes the back end knowledge base list and library. You have a knowledge based form that allows you to tag knowledge base articles with certain content or metadata. What type of request is it? What subcategory does it fall under? Tags, content, finally attachments. So when the end user searches on the front end, the Copilot is going to provide an answer for them, and it's going to also provide the source documentation of that article formatted in a way that makes sense for them. Right? Here's the rundown. Here is the source documentation and the ability to create the ticket from here. Now, the last option for ticket submission, other than an email, form, or Copilot, is you can take a message directly from an end user and you can create a ticket. So if they're used to messaging you, you can say, okay, no problem, and create a ticket on their behalf. And they'll get notifications just like they would if they were to submit the ticket through the Copilot email or through the Teams form, and then you'll have a link right to the ticket from here. Now, once a ticket is created, end users are going to be getting notifications about when their ticket is created, when their ticket is assigned, when their ticket is closed, as you can see here, with rich text content. We also have the ability to add in surveys if required. We do have a survey form for the end user when their ticket closes. Looks like such, ones and fives. But like I said, assigned, closed, created, all that fun stuff. The other aspect of this is that they can also get Teams messages relating to the same thing. We call these adaptive cards. These are essentially a replication of the email inside of Teams, and this is going to go to the specific end user who submitted the request. Now, once a ticket is created, in that front end form or in the Copilot, like I said, we can tag it with categories or subcategories. We have the ability to auto assign based on that content captured in the form. So like I said, you could have a category owner, an assigned team, a subcategory owner, assigned team, multiple people owning a category. You can also have a staff list. And then you can take all three of these into account when assigning tickets. Meaning, do we look at the category list only? Do we look at, all three? Do we look at none? And then do we round robin? Do we load balance? Do we round robin within the category list, etc.? Basically, however you guys want tickets to be assigned and created, you can. And then they will be basically show up in that person's dashboard, right? So this is my interface as a technician. I can see my open tickets, overdue, needing attention are those that have been notes or emails been sent by the end user, and all visible in my dashboard here. Working a ticket, look, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, the opening tab here is how the ticket gets submitted by the end user, the category, the issue type, the description, who submitted it. When you want to resolve the request, you mark the ticket as resolved, add in a resolution. This goes to the end user automatically, like we talked about. You can add notes to the work log. Then you have the ability to determine if you want to mark it as internal or end user facing. If you do add notes here, the end user will be notified via Teams and email, like we talked about, any updates. And then we also have links to emails associated to the ticket, problem and change management. We'll talk about in a second. But basically, it's, ticket comes in, add notes to the work log, communicate with the end user, resolve the ticket, and send to end user. Now, if you do get multiple tickets coming in for the same problem, like you have an outage, or an outage is a good one. Let's say you have an outage and you get 15, 20 tickets associated to the same outage. This essentially becomes the parent ticket, right? I can create a work log, basically like I'd be working a ticket from this problem. But the nice thing here is that I have an easy utility interface to add in as many tickets to this problem as I see fit, right? So now let's say you get 15 or 20. Let's say these two, new tickets are associated to this outage. Now they're linked. I work everything through the problem, and then when the problem closes, all the subsequent child tickets will close. So I won't have to go through and update each individual end user that the ticket has been closed. Super handy, super helpful. Last but not least, change requests. And like problem management, problems can be created on their own right or from a parent ticket, which I'll show here in a sec. Go back to my workspace. So I can do, from the ticket, I can create a problem or a change. And then I can also create those in their own right, new problem, new change. Change management is a lightweight change request tool that gives you the ability to create approvals based off of your approval routing logic. So what it's looking at is our back end. We have this change request approvers list, and then you can choose approvers by change type. Let's say, you want to do it for like IT or HR department specific, or, just individual people. You can also look at attributes captured in Active Directory or in SharePoint, like managers or department heads, so that we make sure that the appropriate person is assigned to the change request approval task. The change request form is going to allow you to capture metadata associated to those changes. And then you'll be able to see, all the content, like the details of the change, costs, components, and then the full approval routing tree. The approvers can either approve via task, right? Come in here and say, I approve this. Or most commonly, they can do it via email. What happens is they'll get an email come in and say, hey, I need you to approve this, that, or the other. And then they have the ability to make that approval decision from the body of the email. Lastly, we do have a manager's dashboard filled with typical KPIs, open tickets, unassigned, needs attention. And then we also have all of these timing metrics as well: ticket performance, average time to respond, average time to close, by type, by technician, by priority, which also can tie into our SLAs. So we have an SLA dashboard that can show you breaches by type, by priority, by category. And what's happening is we're running a timing mechanism in our product app to track time against the ticket. Now, if you want to make your SLA as configurable as you'd like, you can. These SLAs can be generic, like no, not contingent on anything captured in the ticket, just blanketly 15, minutes on reply for high priority and 24 on resolution. Or you can make it more granular. Hey, if the category is equal to network, if the requester is the CEO, right? Then you can change the SLA based on that content, and then you can choose how frequently you want to remind everyone. Obviously, 1 minute's a little aggressive, but we can make that, as any time metric that you want. Let's say that. I was going to say as unaggressive, but I think time metric is better. And that's the help desk in a nutshell: a way to submit tickets, a way to create tickets to problems, add changes, track metrics and dashboards, and create SLAs.